and welcome back to Nye County. Tom Gibson, Chuck Augustine, and during the break I was mentioning to Chuck that the latest thing in the news regarding the Trump family is that the ISIS allegedly is through social media is calling for the assassination of Barron Trump, the child of President and Trump and his wife. And they showed photographs where the kid goes to school, his private school, where basically totally putting the other kids at risk too, because God knows that radical Islamists have no issue with killing innocent people, and if they're going after a certain target, collateral damage is even an issue. So anyway, if you can't, pray for the child, pray for those Muslims, and hopefully we'll get to the bottom of this eventually. And I think it was a really stupid thing to do, because that's the best way I know to get Trump really mad. And if Trump's really mad, he'll unleash General Kelly and General Mattis. That'll be the end of it.
Yeah, and we're going to get into some of this mega information and events that are happening around the world, and I'll give you my version. Right now we got Dave on the phone. Dave, can you hear us?
Dave, go ahead, speak.
Go ahead, Dave.
Yeah, one thing that sticks in my craw is this Yaqui Mountain and this Shinhafen. Our commissioner is advocating bringing that atomic stuff and putting it up there. And it just burns me up tonight. I went over. I was going to go over there today, but I went to the funeral of Art Jones, the memorial Art Jones. I went over there today, and I missed the commissioner meeting. And I wished I could do something about it, but it don't seem like. I'd like to tar and feather him and run him out of town on a rail. Shinhafen. I don't really know him or not.
Oh. Well, there are other ways of handling dissatisfaction. Usually it's at the polling booth.
There's nothing we can do about it.
You got anything else, Dave?
Well, the thing is, you go down there and talk to them commissioners. Like I told them one time, you're better off to talk to a telephone pole than talking to them commissioners.
Well, you know what? Usually they're pretty receptive. It depends on where you meet them and when. If you're trying to catch them when they're doing their job, I mean, it's just like anybody else. They're not going to be all that open to discussing much with people, especially when they appear to be hostile. If you approach them on a better day and time, I'm sure you get a little more mileage out of it.
Who's your commissioner, Dave? Dave? Did we lose him?
We got the silent treatment. Well.
Dave, can you hear us?
Yeah, I hear you good now.
Okay, who's your commissioner?
Who's my commissioner? I think Wyborski is.
Okay, Borowski.
Okay, so you, who's, I'm trying to blank on his name. Dwight Lilly. Oh, Dwight Lilly is running for that position. I'm not sure anybody else who is. Possibly Leo Blundo, but and who knows who else is going to throw their name in. But anyway, that'll be interesting to, when a change of faces in there, if anything happens. But I doubt it. It's the votes usually go along a certain line, and I mean, as like if 4 commissioners are voting for the police unions, then that's a problem right there. And it's a real problem. I'm hoping Dwight won't do that.
Okay, Dave, you got anything else?
Well, Donna Cox is the only one that's any good up there. White Lily might be all right.
Okay.
No, not right now, but I may have something the next go around. I'm going to try to see if I can tar and feather that shin ape and run him out of here.
Okay, Dave. Thanks for calling. We got to get on.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay, let me give a quick overview of what I see happening in the world, and it's huge. The changes that are happening, that some are reported, most are glossed over. They're not reported really with any kind of fervor in mainstream media, certainly. But if you go on the internet, you look at the flow of information. Here's my assessment. You got major regime changes happening all over the world. Zimbabwe, Saudi Arabia, huge. Germany, Merkel is in danger of actually not being able to form a coalition. That would be huge.
Split into three right now.
Absolutely. Lebanon, the president resigned, and next was seen in Saudi Arabia. Now he's in France and moving on. All kinds of mega things happening, and they're happening almost daily.
Yeah.
The Saudi Arabia thing, the people don't realize the money. And remember, most of the people that conducted 9/11, if you believe the story, they were from Saudi Arabia, as was bin Laden. His family were multi-billionaires, and they certainly remained in Saudi Arabia after 9/11 and have remained in a position of power.
Well, it's the swamp, the global swamp being drained. And if you think it's just a coincidence because of Trump, I don't think it is. I think that if you notice, he acts, he doesn't act as sharp as he truly is. He just kind of goes along and says things that are kind of silly, and then whether it's him or the people that work for him, all of a sudden, all his political rivals, Hollywood and in Washington, D.C. are dropping like flies, and they're dropping real hard, too.
And that's all part of it. All the sexual conduct that's being revealed, the pedophilia that's being revealed, none of that has happened until Trump. And I don't credit Trump at all. I believe there are significant power players that were responsible of opening the door for Trump to be elected. I think unless they were involved, there's no way anyone could have beat Clinton. I think Clinton, the Saudi people that are now arrested, all these elitists that are called globalists or Illuminati or mega elite families, they're being challenged by a group that Trump is a part of, but by no means the only one.
And Steve Bannon might be the one that's one of the key. Well, but Bannon correctly his job now is to be on the outside, sniping at the liberals, and he's doing a pretty darn good job of it so far.
But bear in mind, the real power has always been in the military.
Yes.
Period. People can snipe, they can talk, presidents can make orders, but unless the leadership of the military are in control of their troops and are backing that person, no matter who it is, they're not going to be very successful. That is the ultimate power behind every country, despite the illusions that we are different,
I've heard rumors and stories, and there's no way to ever verify them, but where several of the last presidents, not Trump, but in particular Obama and Clinton, Obama and Clinton, Bill Clinton, they were told no by the military on several occasions, and there was no retaliation.
Well, that's it. The bottom line is, like I said, even the police, the FBI, the CIA, they have tremendous power until they confront a military organization. And I have reports, I can't confirm them. They make sense to me in what's going on the big picture, though. In conjunction with all these countries, Saudi Arabia, all the sex scandals, in the media, in the political picture, I've had reports that there's certainly a mega amount of sealed indictments in Washington. And of course, everybody thinks of the Clintons, which is probably a good chunk of them. But there's a whole lot other people, I believe, that are under sealed indictment.
Right, and it's supposedly closer to 1,500 of them.
Exactly.
And of those 1,500, it's theorized that by people in the know that this is a several things are being done. Among others is Pedogate, or if you're familiar with that,
Pizzagate.
Well, both. Pedogate and
Same.
Pizzagate, it's almost synonymous. They got away from Pizzagate because of the bad publicity they got, because the mainstream media just crucified anybody that even mentioned Pizzagate. So then it went to Pedogate, and now they're getting it in. And now it's gaining traction. And these Pedogate arrests, they're ones that are happening throughout the country, and they are getting pedophiles in custody, and they're squirming and starting to squeal on their other pedophiles, and I think that's what some of that 1,500 is.
Sure.
But I'm really going to be interesting when they unseal them, because Mueller has so many potential conflicts in this thing, but you know what? If he goes forward and goes after his former handlers, Clintons and others, then I forgive him.
Well, I think one of the major bombs, I believe, that's going to be dropped, if necessary, is WikiLeaks has tons of emails it hasn't released. At least that's what's being reported by people, I believe. I think if they had access to what they've already released, there's probably a lot more that are far more incriminating against not only the Clintons, but huge numbers of politicians. I've had reports that something like 70% of the people would be in jail at the federal level.
Well, if you look at it, if there's that many, 273 odd claims of sexual harassment or stalking and whatnot against congressmen, and they're supposed to be the cream of society. What do you think the others are doing?
Right, exactly. We're going to go to break, and we'll be back for the final segment in a minute. Thanks.